Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Chichi and I'm from Zambia. Thank you very much for tuning in to watch my channel. Thank you very much to those who have subscribed. For those who are yet to subscribe, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button if you want to be the first to know whenever I post new content. On my channel, you expect to find different topics from scholarships, fellowships, different professional development programs, different topics which you, the viewers, would want me to make a video on whenever you request, and different lifestyle topics. Well, on today's video, we are looking at the Chevening application essay questions. And I'm so excited because today is the 2nd of August 2022 and the Chevening applications have opened today. So if you haven't yet gone to the portal, please go to the portal and start your application right now. And well, on today's video, like I said, we're going to look at the essays. If those who do not know what Chevening is about, please watch my previous video. You will get what Chevening is about. Well, before I go ahead into our topic, I would like to note that anything I'm sharing to you is strictly based on my personal experience, my personal knowledge, and has got nothing to do with the views of the Chevening Secretariat, nor is it the views of the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. Once again, my name is Chichi. I am a 2022-2023 selected scholar. If you want to be smiling like me, which is next year this time, please stick around up to the end of this video so that you can know how you can ace the Chevening application essays. So we want to look at the essays which are brought in the Chevening Scholarship. Like I mentioned in my previous video, the Chevening Scholarship has got 4 main essays, and these essays are the leadership and influencing essay, the networking essay, or you can call it relationship building essay, study in the UK, career plan essay. These are the 4 main essay questions that come in the Chevening application. However, these essays are the ones which are going to determine your fate and your success in the Chevening application. If you do not ace these essays, you'll be sorry because you will not be able to proceed to the next round in the Chevening application says. So specifically on today's video, we want to look at the leadership essay. How can one write the leadership essay successfully? Well, one will begin to think, oh, well, I'm not a leader. I'm not a director of a company. I'm not a CEO. I'm not a president. Well, if you are, then that is well and good, and it's the best. If you're not, leadership does not only mean you holding these big positions in your institution or in your community. Leadership is wide, influencing is wide, and you may not know, but right now you may be influencing people in your community, which is what Chevening is looking for. You may be a leader. Are you creating positive change in your community? Are you sorting out problems? Are you finding solutions to problems that are there in your community, problems that are there in your workplace, in your family, in any space which you belong to? If you are the one who's influencing and sorting out problems and finding solutions, then that is leadership. So how can one write the leadership essay successfully? The first thing is you're supposed to identify where are you showing your leadership skills. When did you show? You can talk about when you're talking about leadership. You can talk about when you were probably a prefect at school. You can talk about how you led a community venture, how you led a fundraising, how you came up with a project and brought people on board to help you to successfully implement that project. All those are leadership examples. So for this thing to be so clear, I'm going to give an example of my personal leadership example, which I talked about in my essay. The example I'll give: I am a teacher by profession and I've been teaching for the past 9 years. I've worked in three different government schools in my country. And in all these schools, I have found myself teaching in low income communities. This is where some of the children are vulnerable. This is where some of the children are not able to afford, their parents are not able to afford the school requirements that they need. This is a community where some of them are underprivileged. And for me, as a quality education advocate, I decided to be part of creating positive change in my community. So the first thing I came up with, I looked at when I look at the children in the school that I teach, some of them could not afford school shoes. They had you find that some of them have worn out shoes. Some of them have shoes which are they are not school shoes, but they don't even look fit for a child. It was so disheartening on my part, which is why in 2021 I came up with a project which I called Donate a Shoe. I began to identify vulnerable children who cannot afford school shoes, who used to come to school with totally worn out shoes. And using my networks and my friends and different platforms such as Facebook, WhatsApp, I would lobby for school shoe donations. There are those people who have school shoes in their homes, but they are not using them anymore, but they're in very good condition. I would lobby for school shoe donations, and eventually I would give the children that I have identified who do not have school shoes. This project began to grow and it began to attract different people who would come on board and also donate various things such as school books, school bags, and different school requirements. It's from the time I began this project, which was last year in 2021, in September, I have managed to help more than 37 learners with school shoe donations and different school requirements. How do you write this leadership essay? There's one key technique which is very vital when it comes to writing the leadership essay. This is called the STAR approach. S for situation, T for task, A for action, R for result. How does this STAR approach work for you when you're writing the leadership essay? When you are explaining your examples, because if you look at the essay question itself, it has outrightly highlighted what it is looking for from you. It wants you to show clear examples. Like I gave you, you have a story, tell your story. Tell your story. I know you are passionate about what you're doing. Now begin to bring it out. It's just you putting your story on paper. How are you going to use the STAR approach in your essay? When you look at my example, the situation in my example is I teach in a community that is the children come from low income families and are unable to afford certain school requirements. That is my situation. And they come to school with worn out shoes, no school shoes at all. Some do not have school bags, some do not have school books. And that was my situation. What was my task? My task was to begin to identify the learners who really need help in that area. What was the action? The action was I began to lobby for donation for school shoes. What was the result? The result was I received different school shoe donations from various people. And not only did I receive school shoes, but I also received other donations like school bags, school books. Chevening wants you to show how you are really influencing. How are you being a leader in your community? You can talk about how you were a leader. Probably you were given maybe in your workplace you were given a department to run, and in that department you find that there are certain things that are not there that are hindering your members to work. How did you sort out that problem? What was the result? And when you talk about the result, one thing I would want you to notice, please use numbers. Remember when I was telling my story, I was able to indicate that from the start of my project up to today, I've been able to help more than 37 learners. Even when you are talking about your situation, I always highlight that 75% of my learners, our learners in this institution where I teach, come from low income families. So when you use numbers, using numbers is very important. How many school shoe donations did you receive? I received 100 pairs of shoes. That is an example. I received 2,000 books from so institution. Be specific. One other tip I would like to note is, please do not begin your essay by defining what a leader is. Remember, these people who are reading the essays, these are academicians, these are well-read people. They already know what a leader is. Go straight into telling your story. Go straight into telling your story. I'll give an example. Start like, throughout my 10 years of being an architect, I have held so and so and so positions. A, B, C, D. I did X, Y, Z. So that is how you can best answer your leadership essay. So if I want to give some tips, I want to give a list of tips that you can use. I've already given a few, but I want to go through them to ensure that I have mentioned them. Firstly, please pay attention to the word count. Do not write below 100. Do not go beyond 500. The system will disqualify you if you do that. At least write words, but 100 is, from my experience, I have applied for the Chevening scholarship 3 times, and I was successful on my 3rd time. But the first time my essays made it to the interview stage. The second time, I think I had so much competition because I maintained the essays I wrote. And the 3rd time, this is when now I got selected. So I feel 500 words is enough for you to really explain. You probably have a lot of examples, but at least stick to 500. Secondly, please use the STAR approach like I have mentioned. Thirdly, it's not necessary to define what leadership is. When you are writing your essay, you can at least use 2 good examples. That is, I think, all I can advise, all the tips that I can give when it comes to the leadership essay. Please comment, ask any questions, and I will ensure that I answer all the questions that you, the viewers, are going to ask. And please don't forget to subscribe if you want to know more, because I'm with you. Today is the 2nd of August. The Chevening application portal has opened, and it is going to close, I think, on the 1st of November, if not the 2nd, but the 1st of November. I'll be with you up to the end. I'll be with you in every stage. I'll make videos on what to do even after you have submitted. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the networking essay. How can you ace the networking essay? See you in my next video. Bye.